Uh, there is super chats, by the way, if anybody wants to do that. I thought I'd mix things up a little bit differently. Yeah, the beard is gone. I just have a little bit of stubble, but it'll grow back. I just want to give my face a little bit of yeah, just to get some air on the skin, and make it, not so itchy anymore. But yeah, I thought I'd do something a little bit different this week. I'm going to read some Irish folklore. um, just because, it's always me waffling on in these things, and yeah, they can probably get a bit boring to watch. So, I'm going to learn something new today, and hopefully I teach somebody else something new today, because I'm going to be talking about the Tuatha De Danann, which is in Irish folklore, superheroes, basically. Yeah, I know very little about these. I've heard, bits and pieces. Ancient Irish manuscripts have mentioned these people, whether they were, superheroes or not. I'll leave that up to interpretation. But we're going to learn who they are. We're going to learn who they are, what they did, and and we're going to do it together. Because we all like learning, don't we? I do have an article up here on my computer, and I do have one superbook, which I'm going to open now. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Nobody has joined the chat yet, but it's early yet. Yeah, I know I look a little bit weird. Yeah, it is a little bit weird, but it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but yeah, it'll grow back. Anyway, I'm going to read. Let's all learn about the Tuatha De Danann, shall we? So imagine, if you will, the following. A fun-loving father figure with an enchanted harp, a bottomless cauldron, and a giant staff that can slay 9 enemies at a time. A morbid matron of death who, appearing in at least 3 distinct forms, including that of a crow or raven, curses warriors on the battlefield, in addition to being a warrior in her own right. A literal otherworldly ruler with a self-driving boat and an enchanted sword. A sword that is given to a shiny young upstart polymath, who also has an enchanted spear and a slingshot ball made from human brains. The latter of which he uses to kill his grandfather, a marauding monster that shoots fire out of his giant eyeballs. Okay. And add to this motley crew a healer, a smith, a one-handed king who is given a silver replacement hand, courtesy to the aforementioned healer and smith, a lover boy who has birds flying around his head, a champion-level warrior who also finds time to invent an alphabet, and a radiantly beautiful protector of domesticated animals whose pets, the kings of boars and the kings of wethers being castrated rams, don't ask, would cry out any time plundering occurred in Ireland. I think it's safe to say what I'm describing here is a pantheon of deities. They did leave a video. I'll leave the link to this underneath the video here. So if you want to have a read of it, go ahead. This seems to be actually pretty interesting. These are the Tuatha De Danann, the so-called gods and goddesses of Irish mythology. I say so-called, and this is the interesting bit, because in the medieval Irish manuscripts in which the myths of ancient Ireland are preserved, the Tuatha De Danann are very rarely referred to as gods. This is interesting. I think we're all learning something here. What's more, in the myths, the Tuatha De Danann are just one of several races or tribes that settle in Ireland. And they certainly aren't the only race capable of performing supernatural feats. It makes you wonder, are the Dagda, the Morrigan, Manon MacNair, Louis, Diane Kecht, Gubnu, Nuada Erglitim, Angus Og, Ogma, Bridget, and all the other members of the Tuatha Dé Danann, there are a lot of them, actual divine beings, or are they just common people who have been thrust into uncommon situations? Okay, so let's take a closer look. Who are the Tuatha Dé Danann? I don't know if I'll get through all this article, but I'll give it a go. As detailed in the Labor Gabála Éireann, the Book of Taking of Ireland, commonly known as the Book of Invasions, the Tuatha Dé Danann are the fifth race of beings to invade Ireland, arriving after the Fir Bolg, or Bagmen, who come from Greece, and before the Milesians, or Son of Meal, who come from Spain. Travelling in dark clouds which blot out the sun for 3 days, the Tuatha Dé Danann land in the mountains of Connacht, which is in the west of Ireland. Not wasting any time, they demand that the Fir Bolg do a big battle with them to determine who will rule Ireland. This is the first battle of Mag Tuired, in which the king of the Tuatha Dé Danann, Nuada, famously loses his arm or hand in other iterations of the story to the Fir Bolg champion, Sareng, and thus must be given the kingship. On the bright side, depending on which side you're on, I suppose, the Tuatha Dé Danann win the battle, slaying 100,000 Fir Bolg in the process, and they go on to win the battle sequel, the second battle of Mag Tuired, which is fought against the Fomorians, a race of giant, monstrous beings from beneath the earth who raid Ireland repeatedly and demand taxes from its inhabitants, but never settle there permanently. So there you go. I'm probably going to do things like this in future on the live feeds because I do like learning about Irish mythology and I don't know very much about it. So, you know, if you like it as well, you know, give me a topic to pick in Irish mythology and we'll learn together in these things. And yeah, let's see how that goes in the future. And, you know, if you do want to hear these in the future as well, leave me a comment and let me know. And if you don't want to hear these in the future anymore, leave it in the comments as well, and I won't do them anymore. But yeah, I'm finding this interesting already. Anyway, do I have any news? I was on to the owners of the land that I'm trying to buy yesterday. And they said their solicitor hasn't been in contact with mine, so that's all in the process. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. I will be back in Ireland on the 1st of November. I fly back home, stay in Airbnb for 2 days on the Friday and the Saturday, and then move to Sligo again. Thanks to Gabrielle and the old hiking geezer, which, you know, I can't give enough praise to. And he has a great channel over there, so go follow him, the old hiking geezer. Yeah, he has some great videos that you probably enjoy. If you like my videos, you'll probably enjoy his videos too. So anyway, let's move on. The second battle of Mag Tuired is where we see Lug, aka Lug Lamhada, of the long arm or long throw, who had been raised in Tirnanog, the land of promise. Excuse me. By Manon MacLear, son of the sea. Makes a triumphant return to Ireland to lead the Tuatha Dé Danann against the Fomorians and kill their champion, Baelor of the Evil Eye, which also happens to be his grandfather. Okay. Anyway, after defeating the Fir Bolg, the Fomorians, the Tuatha Dé Danann themselves, are defeated by the last race to invade Ireland, the Milesians, who are thought to be representations of the decidedly human Gaelic-speaking Celts. The Tuatha Dé Danann are driven underground, taking up residence beneath their former palaces, which includes the Newgrange Monument at Brunabonia, a site associated with Boann, the Irish goddess of the river Boyne, as well as the Dagda, Boann's one-time lover, and their son of love god Angus. Now, if the Annals of Four Masters is to be believed, which in this case it isn't, all of this happens: the cloud travel, the crossing over of the other world, the monster bashing, the subterranean exile between 1879 and 1700 BCE, so roughly about 1,000 years after the construction of the Great Pyramids of Giza, and about 1,000 years before the reign of Alexander the Great. Yes, the implication here is that the Four Masters considered the Tuatha De Danann to be historical, and they weren't entirely without cause. There are hints that the Tuatha De Danann are more human than divine. If you're watching this in the future, please do give it a thumbs up, and that would really make my day. Thank you. I appreciate it. For example, in a recension or revised version of the Labor Gabalia Éireann, the author clarifies that the Tuatha De Danann travel to Ireland in ships which are merely accompanied by a dark mist. They didn't fly there, which means they probably weren't superheroes. What's more, let me take a sip. The author gets more specific about where the Tuatha De Danann are from. The North Island cities of Fallius, Gorius, Murius, and Findius. These are the cities where the Tuatha De Danann allegedly learn lore, quote unquote, lore and science and diabolical arts. However, it's important to remember that specificity does not equal historicity. Historicity? Is that how it's pronounced? I'm not sure. Case in point, in this seemingly more grounded version of the story, perhaps the most fantastical element, or elements I should say, of the Tuatha De Danann are introduced. There are 4 supernatural treasures of jewels which they bring with them to Ireland from the 4 cities. And I quote, "Out of Falaise was brought the stone of Fal, which was in Tara. It used to roar under every king that would take the realm of Ireland." That's the first one. The second one, "Out of Gorius was brought the spear that Lug had. No battle was ever won against it or him who held it in his hand." That's the second one. "Out of Findius was brought the sword of Nuada. When it was drawn from its deadly sheath, no one ever escaped from it. It was irresistible." That's number 3. "And out of Murius was brought the Dagda's cauldron. No company ever went from it unthankful." I'm not sure what to take from that. Okay. It's hard not to interpret these 4 treasures or jewels as the Tuatha De Danann as mythical items. Then again, there is a stone on the hill of Tara that some identify as Lia Fall, or Stone of Destiny. When we couple the supernatural aspects of the Tuatha De Danann with the fact that there is little to no historical or archaeological evidence supporting their existence, it becomes clear that we're dealing with a mythical race, perhaps a mythical race that was inspired by a pre-Celtic Irish people like the Bell Beaker culture, but a mythical race nonetheless. Furthermore, the parallels we find between certain members of the Tuatha De Danann and certain deities from Gaulish and Brittonic mythology hint at a common Celtic or pro-Celtic mythology from which Irish mythology is descended. Okay, so I'm about halfway through this, and I'm 15 minutes in, so I'll leave it there. If you want me to read the rest of the article on these lives, please let me know in the comments, and I'll do that next week. But yeah, I'm not going to put the mic away. I don't know why I was doing that. But yeah, that's it. I don't have any more news. I'm looking forward to getting home. November 1st I fly out, so the day after Halloween. I'm sure there's something going to be going on here in Porto on Halloween. There's not as much hype as there is back at home. You know, you don't see the Halloween stuff in the shops or anything like that. So I'm not sure if people dress up and they have the same rituals as as they do here, or as they do at home. But it should be interesting to see, what goes on around Halloween time. But yeah, that's really all I have. I am really looking forward to going home. It'd be good to see my dad, especially. Excuse me. But these things give me terrible wind. Yeah, it'll be good to see Dad. I might get to see my brother and my cousin Linda. Might get to see a few friends while I'm over there. I'll probably get to see Connor and his lovely wife Amanda. I think I'm getting that right. Because my car is outside theirs and I have to pick that up at some stage. So we'll have a good chin wag, myself and Connor. He's a decent guy, and he's one of the guys that I met while I was in Rush in North County Dublin. So it'll be good to see him again. Excuse me. It hit 21 degrees here today in Porto and a lovely clear sky, so it was just sun all day. I do have a video coming out which I filmed there yesterday. That'll be coming out on Saturday at midday, and I got lovely weather for it. I did film the place a couple of days before and it was a bit overcast, but I was looking at the weather forecast and a couple of days later I was like, yeah, that's going to be a sunny day. So I said I'll get out and do it that day, and I filmed it, got the drone out, got everything together, and it all seemed to work out really well. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. That'll be out on Saturday, midday. So yeah, I hope you're looking forward to that one. Yeah, as far as the land goes, yeah, that's still in the process. It's in the solicitor's hands now at the moment, but I'm hoping that will come true in the next maybe 5-6 weeks, and then I'll probably make a video on that, because I will be in I'm trying to think of the name of the place, Tubbercurry, in County Sligo, living with the lovely old hiking geezer and his lovely wife as well. So yeah, I did text Graham there last night, I think it was. Yeah, it was last night, just to say that I will be down on the 3rd. Yeah, it'll be the 3rd. And he said he was looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Just a new adventure, and I'm sure myself and Graham will get out and have a few adventures of our own, because both of us love to hike. And yeah, both of us love to film, both of us make YouTube videos, so we'll do a bit of filming together, a bit of hiking together, maybe a bit of camping together, and we might get to the bushcraft shelter that I built in Slishwood in Sligo, and I'd like to do an overnighter there, which would be great if Graham could join me there as well. That'd be cool. So yeah, that's everything. That's all I got. I thought I'd, just do the two-head Daylana today, just for something different, I always like to change things up in these things, and today is no different. So, yeah, let me know if you want to hear any more of that in the future, because I don't mind reading it. I like to learn about these things, and as I'm reading, I'm learning at the same time. And I like to teach a little bit of Irish mythology as well. And maybe it's not mythology, Maybe it's not. Maybe they were a real race of people that were here at some stage, but people just, what's the word? Mytholized? Is that the word? Mytholized them as gods, because they were so superior to the Irish people at the time. But yeah, I'm coming up in 20 minutes now. I didn't have that much to say, which is why I brought up the article today, because I've no real other news. I've another week, a little over a week here left in Porto. I will get around to making, the best things to do in Porto, as I usually do, with everywhere that I travel to. So I'll get around to that video eventually. That'll probably take me next week. I'm hoping still to get up to Braga and to get to the Douro Valley as well. So, but with the Jura Valley one, I don't think that's going to make interesting YouTube content. I don't know why. It's just going to be a wine tasting place. I believe it's beautiful, all right, but it's just going to be wine tasting. I don't know if people will be into that. Just let me know in the comments if you'd be into me doing that. But I'd love to go up to Braga and see another city as well while I'm here. Because I haven't done that much travelling while I've been in Portugal. And I'd like to see somewhere a little bit different before I go. So I might get the train up to Braga and see that place. It's supposed to be lovely, so we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah. Anyway, happy Wednesday, everybody. Nobody has said hello. Nobody has hit the like button. There is one person in there in the chat room, but if you'd like to hit the like button, thank you. And cheers to you. But that's really it. I'm actually pretty hungry now. I did have some food for lunch. I had a nice big meal. But I am getting hungry again, and they do a killer tuna salad in the the place where I usually go, and they do real good IPA beers there as well. So I'll probably have an IPA and a tuna salad, and get home and get an early night. Because I've been getting to bed really late lately. Because Porto is it's a city that has a bit of a party atmosphere to it, let's say, and most things don't. Excuse me. Most things don't start happening until about 8 p.m. and before you know it, it's like 11, 12 p.m. or 11 p.m. 12 a.m. and and you're well into the early hours. Then you're getting home about 1 a.m. And just getting to bed then waking up late in the morning. And I want to get back to my old routine of waking up early in the morning and planning the day out and getting out to do stuff. Because when I wake up late, it's 11 a.m. before I even think about leaving the house. And, it just feels far too late. And I feel like there's not enough hours in the day until bedtime again, that way. So yeah, I just want to get up early in the morning again and get back to my old routine, do a bit of exercise, and then shoot some film and do it that way. So, but that's it. I got a video coming out Saturday, as I said. Hope you guys like it because I enjoyed filming it, and all the footage seemed to. I'm so full of wind, sorry. All the footage seemed to come out really well, so everything will be in full colour, full HD, so I'm really happy with the outcome of it so far. But that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching this. If you do in the future, please do hit that like button. And yeah, I'll catch you. It's unfortunate we didn't get any chats, but that's the nature of these things. But yeah, I'll catch you all next Wednesday, and do please watch that video on Saturday. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Take care. Slán go fóill, guys.